start running what we got here. Hey YouTube, it's AJ from AU79 Prospecting. We are back on our group's claim, same area we were working last time, to see if we can find ourselves some more gold. Last time was relatively successful. We did about 12 buckets, got almost 0.6 of a gram of gold with a couple of small nuggets or pickers, so that was good. The downside, last time we ran into a couple of problems. First off, I was discharging down the wrong side of the feeder creek, and that was draining all the water out, so I had to flip that around. My pump kept clogging up because I didn't have a good filter on it, so that really hampered my efforts. So today I've got all that stuff fixed up. I got the piglet facing the right side of the creek. It will be discharging back towards the pump side, and that way hopefully we'll keep a good amount of water ready to go. I also got a filter for my pump, so that should also make a really big difference. Last time I did 12 buckets. My goal today, if I can get 20 to 30 buckets, I'm going to be pretty stoked. The last thing I'm going to do is, instead of getting the buckets and as you fill them, dump them into the Highbanker, I'm going to be kind of storing the pay, probably 6, 7, 8 buckets at a time, running all that together, then doing a clean out, and then doing it again. That way I won't drain my battery as much. I'll keep the battery at max power longer, and hopefully that will help us get over 20 buckets today. So let me go ahead and show you my setup today, and then we'll get started digging. Alright, so this is the area I'm going to be working in, middle of the bank, middle of the creek. We're not allowed to dig on the banks, so we're going to avoid the banks. We're going to keep kind of focusing on the middle of the creek here. So I'm going to dig here. I'm going to put my my shovelfuls in my buckets here, and then I'm going to carry the buckets over here to this big bin and just fill the bin up. This is probably going to be about 5, 6 buckets or so, and then have a couple additional buckets ready to go on standby as well. I got my Highbanker set up, but got some wood platforms on, still stay nice and level. Got everything running at about 10 degrees this time, so hopefully that'll catch a good amount of gold. Last thing is we got our pump set up. I basically punched a bunch of 2.5-inch holes, put a little window screen and Gorilla Tape around it, so I think that should do a good job. There's not a lot of water here in the quote holding pond right now, but when it's time to run, I got the mini dam built up, so I'll go ahead and put some rocks in it, get it built up, wait a couple minutes, let the water build up, and we should be good to go. So hopefully we'll find a good juicy nugget today, and hopefully when goals, if we can get over a gram of gold, that would be amazing. So let's go ahead and start digging. All right, we are ready to run our first 6 buckets. So we've got the dam is built up here. We've got water filling the filling pond right now. I was able to fill 5 buckets in the container plus an additional bucket, so I got to do roughly this 4 times, and the digging took me exactly 30 minutes. So, a couple, 5 minutes or so, a little over 5 minutes per bucket. So let's go ahead and turn this on, and hopefully this will run the way I think it should. Alright, so we got good water flow here. That's looking pretty good. The destruction chamber looks good. Obviously the water's gonna be a little muddy, but this is about the best I'll be able to do. So we'll make sure I got this centered in the middle here. Perfect. And then All this stuff is looking pretty good as well. We've got our little fluid chamber here. The water's nice and smooth underneath the flap here, the reverse ramp ripple. Everything's looking good and stable. All right, let's go ahead and start running. All right, so we'll just start, little bits here. What I'll do is just use my hands to wash this a little bit. The thing to remember is this is not a gas powered pump, so this is underpowered. And with all the clay in this, I have to manually wash this a little bit. So it looks pretty good there. Just rewash some of these rocks here real quick. There we go. Looking good. Do it again here. There's a ball of clay and there's rocks in it, so I'll chuck that. Very good, looks good. And then again, because the gallon per hour is pretty low, it's probably 2200 or so, and it should be running at 3000. These rocks are not going to manually clear. Some will, but most of the time I'm going to have to manually push this down, like this. Alright, so let's see how long this will take. And we'll see if we can get all 6 buckets run here, and then we'll do a clean out. Alright, well we're about 4 buckets in and the pump clogged, just the screen got filled with leaves and such, so I have to clean that off, but yeah, 4 buckets in, what the heck, we're here for fun, let's go ahead and do a clean out. So I pull the mats, wash them off in a bucket, and that's what we got. The question's what's in here. I have no idea. I didn't see any big nuggets when I was cleaning it out, so I don't think there's anything huge, but there we go, a little more comfortable there. And this is just really a pretty fast pan. I'm not worried if I lose a little bit of fine gold. Panning it into another pan. All that stuff is going to go through the multi-sluice when I get home. I like just to do a quick pan here just to see what we got. Get some clear water here. That usually will help. So, like, lots of fine gold here, which is nice. Well, see a couple slightly bigger pieces. I don't know if you can see that on the camera here, but it's pretty good for just 4 buckets. And there's still more gold in here. I'm not going to process all this down here. Alright, this is the final 2 buckets. So we'll go ahead and do our final clean out for the day. We'll go ahead and pull these mats now. I like to lay it out just to look at it and inspect. It's always fun to find a little nugget sitting in the mat here. Well, I don't see anything really obvious sticking out at me here. And then of course we've got the fluid bed right here, so we'll have to clean that out. Is that a little something there? No, that's just looks like some fool's gold and mica. Alright, let's go ahead and clean this up and see what we got. Alright, we're home now, and we got our cons from our trip yesterday, a couple cups worth. And what we're going to do is we're going to run it through the aggressive mat first, then we're going to run it through the washer mat and see what we got. I already did a quick pan of all these cons in the field, so I don't know how much is going to be in here, but more than fines, I'm also going to be looking for specimen gold as well, because you can find that on this claim. So we'll go ahead and get started and see what we can get. Alright, here is the final cleanup. Not too bad, but it definitely looks less than the last time we went out. We ran about the same amount of material, less gold. So I'm guessing we probably went too deep into the clay layer. Let's go ahead and weigh it out and see what we got.
Alright, let's go ahead and pour it out now. I'm guessing it's probably going to be about 1/3 of a gram, maybe less. But we'll see. It's a little windy now. Let's go ahead and close that cover and see. So it looks like the final total is about 0.3. Right about what I thought. Alright, we'll go ahead and do our wrap up and see where we go from here.
Alright, so all in all, not too bad, but not as good as last time. I think the problem we ran into was we were digging deep through that clay layer. I was hoping to hit another layer of cobble, hoping to hit some really big gold, but we never got to that point. I think we're really limited based off of just using a shovel and a pickaxe and digging underwater. Because of that, I think we were just working deep into the clay layer, the gold got less, and there were no big pieces. So what we're going to use this information for is next time, instead of going deeper, we're going to stay a little bit more shallow and work that superficial clay layer that we did last time where we got those big pickers. And hopefully we'll find more gold next time. But hey, gold is gold, and 1/3 of a gram is nothing to laugh about either. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, like, or subscribe if you have any tips for improvement or you want to see something out on my claim. Just let me know and I'll show it to you. So until next time, guys, peace out.